Do you choose general mobile radio services or family radio services? These two radio services are frequently on the mind of anyone looking into getting involved with radio in a more casual manner, or perhaps who require a self-reliant communication device. The problem is it's a little confusing trying to decipher which one is right for you. Which one best fits your needs? Which one provides the best trade-offs? We're here to make that decision a little less stressful. Hi, I'm Cody, W3AMG with Bridgecom Systems. Today, we're going to share with you exactly what FRS and GMRS are and the differences between them. And lastly, we'll cover which one we would recommend for you. First, let's start with FRS. According to the FCC, the Family Radio Service, also known as FRS, is a private two-way short-distance voice and data communication service for facilitating family and group activities. The most common use for FRS channels is short-distance two-way voice communications using small handheld radios that are similar to walkie-talkies. Radio Shack initially put forward FRS as a band set aside solely for recreational use. They did this because of a frequency competition among walkie-talkies and other devices in lower frequencies. As opposed to CB radios on 27 MHz, your FRS radios will not suffer from interference from radio stations, TVs, or cell phones. FRS radios operate on the UHF band between the frequencies of 462 and 467 MHz. In the service's frequency range, you'll have 22 different channels. Your typical range of an FRS radio on channels 8 through 14 is just short of a half mile. You can achieve longer communications on the other channels, but that will depend on the environment around you. Operating within the same frequency is GMRS. According to the FCC, General Mobile Radio Service is a licensed radio service that uses channels around 462 MHz and 467 MHz. The most common use of GMRS channels is for short-distance two-way voice communications using handheld radios, mobile radios, and repeater systems. To make it simple, think of GMRS as a more serious, more powerful version of FRS. We say that because GMRS doesn't just offer radios with significantly higher wattage, it also has specific channels to operate on within 462 to 467 MHz. GMRS most commonly comes in portable radios, but being GMRS, there are also mobile radio options to act as your base station. Now, if you are paying close attention to the FCC's definition of these two radio services, you will have noticed a significant difference between the two services with licensing. With FRS, you don't have to worry about getting a license. It's completely rule-based. That means as long as you operate your radio within FCC rules, you'll be fine. GMRS, on the other hand, requires licensing. Now, we know you're probably turned off a little bit by the idea of a license, but it's much less complicated than it seems. You just have to apply and pay a fee. Once you receive your license, you'll have it for 10 years. On top of that, all your immediate family members will be able to operate for free on GMRS radio. This licensing is in place because GMRS offers many more capabilities, mainly because of messaging applications and unique channels, but most importantly is repeater functionality. As we said earlier, using FRS, you're most likely to max out at half a mile. With a regular GMRS radio, you can expect up to 5 miles of range. GMRS gives the user a lot more flexibility in terms of communication range, but with a repeater system, you can expect a communications range of 20 to 25 miles. FRS radios are unable to transmit via a repeater system. This inability to connect to a local network is why their range is so limited. With a GMRS repeater system, you will have a much easier time communicating. So which one should you choose? Now, both of these radio services will serve you well, but we do have a few recommendations. If you're just looking for a radio that will work within short ranges and don't plan to use the radio as a daily carry, then I would recommend you go with FRS. It's just easier to jump into and doesn't require licensing. If you're trying to find a radio that's a bit more expensive, but also higher quality and more powerful, we recommend you go with GMRS. Although it does require licensing, it makes up for it in terms of broadcasting power, and by utilizing GMRS communications, you will be able to connect to a GMRS repeater system. GMRS just gives you that extra safety, that additional certainty in being prepared with reliable comms. Do you have more questions about FRS or GMRS that we didn't cover today? Let us know down below in the comments section. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another one of these awesome videos. Thanks again for watching. I'm Cody, W3AMG with Bridgecom Systems. 7-3.